Medicals book for today. Big goings on at Manchester United. Chelsea ready to submit a £60 million bid for Garnacho, and a big and potentially significant update on Benjamin Sesko and a potential move to Arsenal Football Club. All that and much more on the Done Deal show. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Let's do this. Omar Mamouche is undergoing his Manchester City medical today, according to Fabrizio Romano. An excellent piece of business. We've said it many times on the terrace. There's such great talent in this young man, and I think it's going to pose as such a good move in the medium to long term, even the short term potentially as well, when you think about the Champions League campaign that's still ahead of City. A big game this week against Paris Saint-Germain, I will add. But Omar Mamouche undergoing his medical today. Hundreds of millions being spent by City, and fair play to them. Standing up, showing they're serious, delivering what they need to do to, one, try and get their season back on track, to appease the fans slightly, but of course, giving the manager, Pep Guardiola, everything he needs to move forward. And as Maximum says here, City on the rise. That is just an absolute fact. They are again. Nobody can deny it. What I want you to rise up here right now, though, is the like button for us. Please get that smashed. Get that hit. Share this stream across all social media platforms. And a big shout out to our title sponsor today at Stocks FC. And we'll talk about them a little bit more later in the show. But so much news to delve into today and to speak about. And I wanted to start off with Manchester United because there's a lot going on right now. It's since the exits of Anthony, the market has come alive for us, and there is a few updates here to jump into. The first one is Napoli have informed Man United. This is according to reports coming out of Italy. They've informed Manchester United that they can offer us a discount on Victor Osimhen on his £63 million price if United cooperate with the Garnacho deal. What I also find interesting about this, I actually think their links to Patrick Dorgu are more to do with trying to force us into the Napoli situation. They want him. They have been informed that it's going to cost 59 to 60 million pounds to get the deal done. And essentially what it reads like, Napoli is saying, look, give us a discount and we'll give you a discount. And I think Man United should explore this. If Garnacho leaves, I'm a bit heavy of heart. I like Garnacho. I think there's a really talented player in there. But I understand the club is tearing up the script. We're changing completely and utterly the direction of how we want to play. And there was always going to be casualties from a technical and football profile element, plus raising cash. Man United are not completely broke, but we have nowhere near the abundance of cash that we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Why? Because the Glazers and Woodward hemorrhaged it. Ruined it. We're still paying off for players that left the club years ago. We're still paying off managers that were sacked 5, 6, 7 years ago. We're in huge problems. So we need to be as thrifty as possible. I like the idea of Osimhen. Osimhen in, Garnacho out. I feel like there's a really good bit of business in there. Someone that's going to score us more goals. Hugely important. Melissa Reddy's update is saying that Patrick Dorgu has been monitored by Tottenham and Chelsea as well, but he wants to join Manchester United, which I think is really great. Also an update from David Ornstein that Marcus Rashford's preference is to move to Barcelona if he leaves Man United. This is also coupled, by the way, with a lot of talk today that Rashford is happy with Ruben Amorim and he wants to stay at the football club. I'm still not sure that's going to happen. I feel that that's a little bit of PR ahead of the game. A little bit of PR to essentially say, in case I don't leave and I have to play, I've got to publicly state that I want to be here number one in case he doesn't leave. I think Rashford, and I don't blame him for it, by the way, has his sights set on leaving. wants to move on and go somewhere else, which is absolutely fine and fair. So Rubin here says, Ineos are clueless. You're entitled to that opinion. What I would love to hear from you is, could you break that down into more detail, please? Can you break that down into more detail? And Martree, says United are going to be the next Dortmund, just selling their best talent and best players. That's subjective, because not everybody thinks that Rashford and Garnacho are our best players. What we're going after Patrick Dorgu. Do you think that Man United are just buying him to sell him in 2 or 3 years for a profit? Is that what you believe Ineos are doing? I would love to get your thoughts on that. I really, really would. Darren says, I cannot believe Anthony is gone. Look, we're paying half his salary, about half his salary. There's no option to buy, but there is a clause that he has to get a certain amount of game time. The club are hopeful they can attract a buyer in the summer, and they will. The idea that gets pushed that you can't ever sell your bad players is just ridiculous. What you won't get is a lot of money for them. And what Man United need to sell this summer are players that get as much profit on as possible. So academy players, you get it. And players whose contracts have been, whose original transfer fees are paid off. So for instance, selling Lindelof for 10 million is £10 million of profit. Not on net spend, but net spend isn't real. Man United don't owe Benfica any more money. Therefore, on the trading accounts this year, if you sell him for 10 million, it's 10 million of income. We're not giving out any more money towards the Lindelof deal. The 85 million paid for Maguire is all paid off. So if we renew his deal and then sell him for 20 million on the trading accounts, that's 20 million pure profit as a transaction. Anthony is very different. We still probably owe 50 million, 60 million of his transfer fee. So whatever we get for him, we're still running at a loss, which is why one of the biggest focuses is selling players that will bring us an income so we can reinvest and grow the squad. We have to do that for PSR reasons, like every other club. So United we're actually operating in the right way for once, rather than just spend, barely selling and then running out of cash. But I don't think people are looking at it from that point of view and perspective. But yes, from my point of view, the way I view this, look, I'm liking some of the links that we have at the moment at Man United. And I will say this, Ineos have briefed the press, and this was the bit I was most impressed with. We are looking for athletes. We are looking for power. We are looking for strength. We are looking for acceleration. Of course, you want good technical ability, someone that scores like an Osimhen. You want someone that's good at carrying the ball, good at dribbling the ball, good with the ball at their feet. We need ball carriers like Patrick Dorgu. We need more of that power and pace. I watched Chelsea last night against Wolves. And yes, they conceded a stupid goal from a set piece. But every time Wolves tried to counterattack against them, the power, the pace, the speed, the athleticism within the Chelsea team enabled them to recover 9 times out of 10. Man United lack that massively. If you look at Arsenal, you look at Liverpool as an example, the Brentfords, the Bournemouths, all these sides, Nottingham Forest, so much more athleticism in their team, and that's where Man United need to be investing. So look, I'd love to get your opinions on that. Man United fans, if Garnacho was to leave, if Rashford was to leave, but we ended up with Patrick Dorgu, we ended up with Victor Osimhen. I'm going by the links that are out there today. How impressed would you be with that news? Thank you, Luke Skywalker here, for asking people to hit that like button. It means a great deal to us. Let's get that smashed right now. If you guys haven't done so already, people, get it smashed. Get the content liked. Get that done, please. Very, very important to the show. Let's have a look at some more of your comments here. Terry, do you think you'll get those links, though? Patrick Dorgu, I think there's a very good chance we get him. We are looking at some other players. At the moment, they're unnamed, and I'm loving that. Man United's links are very quiet. Again, people are panicking because of where we sit in the league, and it isn't quite working on the field of play. I anticipated a lot of this. Not the exact games we would lose or exactly what it would look like, because I'm not a fortune teller, but there was always the possibility it would get worse before it gets better. But I'm looking at the signs. Starting lineups have stopped being leaked. Who we're linked to in the transfer market is going relatively under the radar. The journalists I speak to say it's the hardest they've ever known it to get information out of Manchester United. All these little pieces of information fill me with a sense of confidence that change is at play. Now, that doesn't guarantee we're going to become the best team in the world in 3 to 4 years. But I do believe we can land some of these targets. And I'm really excited about the idea of Patrick Dorgu. I would love Victor Osimhen. I think he's a very good striker. And I also don't think either of them two signings mean we wouldn't go for a Gyökeres or we wouldn't go for a Mendes or a Kirkes in the summer. I think there's an option here. We need two quality strikers. And I'm not worried about, we get Patrick Dorgu, though. We're not going to get Mendes. We're not going to go for, we're not going to, Mendes, sorry. We're not going to go for, we're not going to go for Kirkes in the summer. I don't think it means that at all. But I'd love to get your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on all of this in the comments section below. And Abdullah, yes, I agree with you. I'd be happy with that deal as well. Now, we're going to go to Arsenal in a few moments, but I want to have a stop here on Chelsea, because Chelsea have got some very, very interesting links indeed at the moment that I want your views and I want your opinions on. Now, the first one, which I think is significant, this comes from the Times, that Chelsea Football Club are considering a potential move for Vlahović, who, look, I think it was said very, very well last night by Hussam. He's a robot. He is essentially a robot. You're not getting R9. You're not getting a Luis Suarez or a Wayne Rooney. You are getting a good number 9, the good goal scoring record, who, when you look at the abundance of chances that Nico Jackson has missed in the last 8, that's 8, Terry, I don't know what I was doing there. Last 8 games, I think Vlahović laps a lot of those up. I don't think if you sign Vlahović, it doesn't mean you wouldn't buy a better striker in the summer or in the future. But I think Vlahović to Chelsea could be a fantastic piece of business in the short to medium term, especially when it comes to securing, 1, a Champions League berth for next season. 2, I think you're going to win the Conference League anyway, but it gives you that extra firepower. And of course, Chelsea are still in the FA Cup. They're still in the FA Cup with an opportunity of winning a major trophy, and they haven't won a trophy for a few years now. You don't want it to become 5, 6, 7. And I think Vlahović would be a very, very good piece of business surrounding that. On top of that, this is back to Garnacho again. I think what's really significant here, Napoli want Garnacho. And they're offering, according to the Italian press, they're offering Man United a discount on Osimhen. And I think we should take them up on it. 1, I don't want to see Garnacho in the Premier League. I think he'll do well at Chelsea. Secondly, I like Victor Osimhen. I want more firepower up front. And I suddenly look at it and think, well, suddenly if we've got Bruno and Osimhen and Ahmad as like sort of front three, for me, that's going to score more goals than what we have right now, as an example. But back to Chelsea. Chelsea are willing to meet the demands of Alejandro Garnacho in terms of salary, and Manchester United. They are tempted to bid £60 million. Now, I know Ches and a few Chelsea fans on the show yesterday said that they're going to buy him as a backup. I don't think you bid £60 million for a backup. That's someone you see as a potential first-team player, in my humble opinion. In terms of his wage demands, I'm just checking his salary here. He's currently earning £50,000 a week. This is where I think it fits Chelsea's model, though. Remember, clubs are more concerned about the salary of a player, more so than the transfer fee they cost, typically speaking. The salary is a massive commitment. He's on 50 grand a week. He isn't going to be demanding 170, 180, 200, 250. If he was on that now at Man United, it'd be different. He could probably be picked up for somewhere in the region of about £80,000 a week. I reckon that's what he'd ask for and what you'd get him at. Garnacho has already agreed personal terms with Napoli. Both Chelsea and the Italian club are moving very fast, and a deal could be completed by the end of the week. And that, for me, is what's really significant about the Alejandro Garnacho situation. It is accelerating very, very quickly indeed. Very, very quickly. I then look at Man United and think, who else could come in? Who could be the replacement? But Chelsea pushing hard. Napoli essentially threatening us with, we'll go after after young Patrick, and offering us discounts. I'm really intrigued to see who comes out on top on this deal. From my perspective, and that'll be subjective, and yours as well. But Chelsea fans tuning in, okay? What you saying? Vlahović, Garnacho, are they the types of or level or caliber of player you expected to see your club try and sign during this window? I'd love to get your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on that right now. Osimhen, not Osimhen. Have I spelt it wrong? It's Osimhen, right? If I missaid it, sorry, it's just my accent. I really, really do. Sorry. We are funding United to get Osimhen. Well, look, that's the other side, but that won't happen. So if you're a Chelsea fan saying that, if Chelsea are buying Garnacho, we are not going to get this discounted price on Osimhen. We're not. However, Napoli, I look at it this way. I'd say to Napoli, look, let's do some kind of swap deal. It won't be a swap deal on paper, but in the sort of eyes of the world. Let's just do a swap. Do a straight swap. Essentially, we'll both pay each other 40 million each, 50 million each, whatever it may be. Make it a nominal fee. And you get Garnacho and we get Osimhen. That, I would be buzzing with that. Genuinely, I would be buzzing if that was the deal that we went for. I really do. Carl here says Chelsea spent 85 million for Mudryk and he was a backup. I don't think Mudryk was bought to be a backup, though. He ended up being a backup because he wasn't good enough. And this is the thing about buying backups. Unless you have a truly consistent world-class player. So Frank Lampard, when he was at Chelsea, and we use Chelsea as an example, Eden Hazard, Didier Drogba. You bought backups for those players. You went out and went, do you know what? We know they're not the same level. They're a backup. I think there are very few players in this Chelsea team. Caicedo, now Cucurella, Palmer. You might argue Enzo Fernandez on his recent form. But there are very few players where you would buy a direct backup for them, especially when you're spending 50, 60 millions. You are buying players of similar quality for them to fight it out for supremacy in your team. So I don't think Garnacho is being bought. I don't think he's being told in these meetings, yeah, we're going to bring you in as a squad player rotation. I think he's being told he's an important first-team player. Not a guaranteed starter, but an important first-team player. That if he plays well, that if he delivers, if he scores goals, he'll become a starter. And he has the ability to do that. Dan T said that's a horrible deal for Chelsea. Get them back for the Mount deal. I mean, I don't see it that way, though. I want to be shameless. I'd love to be shameless, right? But I can't be shameless about this because I like Garnacho. So I can't do the banter. And yes, I'm going to share the link very soon for you guys to phone in and have their say. There we go. United's problems ain't a striker. Oh, we certainly have striker issues at Man United. We have a huge striker problem. I don't think we can completely fix our midfield and defensive problems from a physical aspect between now and the end of the January window. What can help us get through the rest of this season is goals. And if you actually look back at, and I'll get the games up in front of me now because it makes it a little bit easier, right? If I just go Man United fixtures, who scored, list them the best, actually. Who scored, list them very, very well because it's just in one straight order. We look at recent games. Against Brighton, outplayed us, deserved to lose. Okay, absolutely. I'll give them that. Newcastle game, got the midfield wrong. As soon as we adapted, we had 6 chances in that game to score a goal. Didn't take one. Could have changed the game. Against Wolves, ample chances to score. Didn't take them. Ended up conceding. Bournemouth beat us 3-0. Ample chances to score. Didn't take them. Tottenham, before they went 1-0 up, we had chances to score. Didn't take them. Ended up losing 4-3. Victoria Polson, we beat them. But again, we missed chance after chance after chance in the first half. Nottingham Forest. By the way, a lot of the goals we conceded were huge mistakes as well, by the way. But again, against Forest, we could have been 2-3, 4-0 up. Didn't take the chances. Lost 3-2. You know? Beat Everton 4-0 because we took our chances that day. Bodo Glimt, we conceded first in that game. But again, even though we scored 3, could have scored more. Ipswich could have scored more. So from my point of view, I look at these recent games and I truly believe Man United would have had 2 or 3 more W's in this period with someone as prolific as an Osimhen. So therefore, in the short term, I think it does help. But I get your point in the long term. That's not just what we need. That I completely and utterly agree with. Now, moving on. Obviously, I still want to get your opinions on all these different clubs. I know that a lot of you are tuning in. I want to speak here about Arsenal. So, an interesting story today, and I want to read this out to you. And it said, and I quote, breaking news, Benjamin Sesko would be extremely difficult to move to Arsenal in January. Leipzig want a significantly higher fee, and Sesko was planning to finish the season in Germany. But this doesn't tell the full story, because what it also states in the story is that Sesko remains a long-term target, with Arsenal, one of many clubs looking at him. Sesko had planned, and that's what's really important here. Okay, the actual this when you read that, God, that sounds really bad. When you read the actual article, it says Sesko had planned to see out the season in Germany and Leipzig. What do you mean had planned? Does that mean his mind's changing? Does it mean this is doable? Had planned. It then says Leipzig would want a significantly higher fee to sell this month, especially as any deal would likely leave them with little time to secure a replacement. And that there is what's key. And that should be the fundamental part that Arsenal fans focus on. So you'll get some gooners that will say, Terry, he says we're unlikely to get him. Why is it being discussed? Because you've got to read the article. If it's saying that Benjamin Sesko had planned to leave, sorry, let me rephrase that. I said it wrong. If the article is saying that he had not planned to leave, what do you mean hadn't planned? It doesn't say Benjamin Sesko has said he will not leave. He said he planned to stay in Germany. That sounds like he's now planning to leave, potentially. It then says Leipzig would want a significantly higher fee. Well, yes, 90% of all transfers in January are more expensive. This tells me if Arsenal bid the right money, they can get him. And Arsenal fans, whether you like Sesko or not, drop that subjective element of the conversation. What Arsenal fans should be demanding here is that their club make a significant offer to tempt Leipzig. Show some ambition. He's a long-standing target. He's not a panic buy. He's not a player that you haven't inquired about, spoken to, discussed before. I don't even think that he is the finished article. There's a rawness to him still. Abso-freaking-lutely. But he's a long-term target. If I think about recent games for Arsenal, and I've just done the same with Man United, I'm going to go to Arsenal's right now and look at their recent games. Personally, this is my opinion. I think you beat Man United in the FA Cup. I think you at least draw, if not beat Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. I think you beat Brighton away. And then we've got to go all the way back to the 14th of December when you drew with Everton at home. I think you win that game. So let's just look at those four matches. You probably still draw with Villa. You probably still draw with Fulham. We'll keep the draw with Chelsea. We'll keep the draw with Liverpool earlier on in the season. We'll change other results. Let's pick those four. Right now, if Arsenal was still in the FA Cup, still in with a chance or leading in the Carabao Cup, and had picked up 2 more points in each of those games I mentioned, so the Everton game and the Brighton game, that'd be 4 extra points. They'd be in the next round of the FA Cup, almost in the final of the Carabao Cup, and 2 points at the top of the league. Would there be the meltdown at Arsenal? No. Some fans, yes, they're angry. They don't rate what the club's doing. They probably don't even rate Benjamin Sesko, to be fair. They don't rate Arteta. I get that. Let's ring fence that because they're consistently angry. They're not liking what's going on. But would Arsenal be in a better position? Yes. So when you read this article that's very well sourced, that the player had planned on staying in Germany, that for me implies he's willing to change his mind at the very least. And it's going to take a significantly higher fee to sell him. We'll bid 65 million, put a marker out there. We've seen West Ham do it with John Duran this morning. And we've all seen this news, which I think, again, caught everybody off guard a little bit. But the bid that's come through from Nottingham Forest for Wissa at Brentford. Now, 22 million, significantly below the valuation that Brentford have. But it's a marker. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't go back in. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make another approach. Same with West Ham. What West Ham should now do is go, okay, well, we know that 57 million got rejected. Let's try 65. Also get into the players here. Well, this is what we're going to offer you. This is what we're going to give you, because the way you also get these players out is by convincing them to leave. As soon as a player's head is turned, got to end it. You've got to end it. It's like being in a relationship. In either direction, if your other half has their head legit turned by someone else, in my opinion, your relationship's dead in the water. You might be able to tread water for a while. You might survive for a little while longer, but at some point, you're going to drown, is my view. So Arsenal should be, in my humble opinion, based on reading that, moving for Benjamin Sesko. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. So let's go to some of your comments here. Thank you, Luke, again, for asking everybody to smash that like button. I want to say a big thank you to Anthony. He's been a member for 15 months. But when he says, so basically there's no medical book. Yeah, we spoke about the medical first story of the show right at the beginning. So go back to the beginning of the stream. Medical conversation was discussed. So go back and have a look, my friend. A very weird comment to come in halfway through a stream and say what has and hasn't been said. You look a bit silly there. Talking from experience. Not to my knowledge. So not to my I always find myself very fortunate about that in relationships. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no chance that a lady that I've been dating hasn't had her head turned by somebody else, but I don't know whether that's true. I don't know for a fact whether that's true. But I think everybody has probably experienced it at some level. Some it's very painful. You could be in a 20-year relationship, married for 15 years, and then it happens. Some people, it could be the early days of dating. Oh, I like her or I like him. This is going well. And then suddenly they meet someone else and have their head turned. It is what it is. But I think from a business, and yeah, you just move on. There's plenty more fish in the sea. But yeah, from my point of view and perspective, I just feel like Arsenal have got to do, and maybe they are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I don't know. And none of us know. But for me, I think they've got to be doing a lot more in this window to try and get the players in that they need. I think it's very, very important that they go and get that done personally. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to get yours. You're all entitled to your own opinion and everything else. I want to give a big shout out today to our title sponsors, which is the best football stock trading app and platform around, which is Stocks FC. The one thing I keep suggesting for everybody to go and do, because I think it's an important element of this, is to go and check out their Trustpilot score, which is everyday people like yourself and I that review it and talk about the experiences. But it really is a great platform. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. I like playing it. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. I just simply enjoy it. If it isn't for you, then fair enough. But I absolutely adore playing it. 5 free stocks will be given away to everybody that signs up to a brand new account. Plus, what the Football Terrace is doing as a thank you is everyone who signs up to an account will go into a prize draw to win a PlayStation 5 courtesy of us. And what I always suggest is use the platform. It's great, but get your 5 free stocks, have a play. If you like it and enjoy it, then have some more fun. If you don't and it's not for you, no one's going to hold it against you. But you can scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link below and get yourself signed up. Let's go to some of your comments here. I'm also going to share the link for phone in if people want to come in and have their say. I'm going to post that into the live comment section. That's just been done right now, so you guys can come on and have your say. Why are you lying? Arsenal ain't signed anyone. I haven't said anyone's been signed by Arsenal. So what I'm going to do is put you in a timeout, my friend, because you're saying weird things for attention. So there's the attention that you craved, my friend. Let's have a little look here. Anthony says that's because he's a troll. First 2 minutes that was discussed. Absolutely. Moment the disrespect reaches a level, it's done. No, I hear you on that. And I think on a football level, I don't think they take it as disrespect because it's a professional environment. But there is certainly, we've all experienced it at work. I remember in the last sort of serious corporate job I had, the level we were working at, as soon as somebody's head was turned by another company, we were often kind of forced by our employers to, and I want to make sure I say this in the right way. It was, look, we've got very strong rumors, or senior people had heard through the grapevine, this person's been searching for new jobs, talking to recruiters, or gone for interviews. And we'd often drag people into offices in a nice way and offer them the chance to leave. We'd say, listen, we'll put you on gardening leave for the next 3 months. Sort of do it as resignation. You don't lose any bonus, don't lose any pension rights, but we want you out of the office, because what we didn't want was any of their negative influence, in the sense of, oh, listen, guys, I've been talking to this recruitment company and these firms are offering this or that or the other, and this is better and that's better. Sometimes it was better, sometimes it wasn't, but we never wanted that energy in the office, because we wanted our staff working to the optimum level. And by the way, I'm talking about people that work for an organization where they were paid very good money, had amazing benefits and stuff like that. So it wasn't, and yeah, it's just natural. And unless you've worked in an environment like that, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to understand. Let's have a little look here. Not worth the risk. Arsenal overpaying for him so they can get, so they can't buy in the summer, is good news for rivals. I don't necessarily, why do you think it's such a big risk? That's what I want to understand. Why is it such a big risk? And when it comes to overpaying, let me ask you a question back, Sass. How much over the valuation as a percentage do you think is an acceptable risk? I'm not explaining why net spend isn't real. Just Google it. I've explained it on so many shows. I've got videos out about it. But very quickly, I will for you. I don't want to disrespect the viewers. I'll tell you why it's not real. So, Man United bought Maguire for 85 million. If we sell him for 50 million, people go, in terms of net spend, you lost 35 million. We didn't. You're not considering agent fees and salaries. We actually spent a lot more than 85 million pounds on him in the first place. But from a trading account perspective, which is important when it comes to buying players, because your trading accounts, your profit and loss accounts, are what are used to determine how much money you're allowed to spend under PSR and FFP. That 85 million for Maguire and all these wage years and these agent fees have been paid. If we sell him for 50 million pound, we make a 50 million pound profit on that trading account. So net spend isn't right. Net spend isn't accurate even in its own fantasy world, but it isn't accurate in how clubs actually operate. So that's why it's not real. So he's not going to Arsenal. I'm not too sure. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Arsenal put the bid in. But I hear exactly what you're saying, my friend. Let's look at some more of your comments that have come through here. Sell Garnacho to Napoli. Get a left wing back. Get a discount on Osimhen and an English type striker in the summer. What does an English type striker mean? I'd love to understand what you mean by that. I don't understand what you mean. What is an English type striker? But there we go. Mamouche has been bought as a backup for Haaland. Yes, but the example I gave about Chelsea not buying backups is they have very few players in their team that you have that are on a Haaland level. So if they bought someone that plays in Palmer's position, I'd go, yeah, backup. But they don't. I still don't think Neto, Sancho, I don't think any of them have done enough to be established first teamers at Chelsea, whose position is under very little threat. I don't think any of them have done enough. Where Haaland has. Chelsea fans revising facts. Mudryk was 80 million plus. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Who said it's less than that? And if it's less than that, can someone cite me a source, please, so I can read it? Because I always like to be re-educated on things. I really, really do. Napoli's sporting director will sit down with Manchester United's delegation in Italy today to discuss the terms of the deal for Garnacho. Mana is ready to close the deal. Look, if he's going to leave, I don't want him to leave. I don't want him to go personally. But if he does, I'd much rather it be abroad. Imagine him and Garnacho in Serie A this year. That'd be crazy. And I know a lot of people don't like it. There's a lot of Man United fans that don't like the idea of selling academy products. I'm keeping my powder dry. We are revising and changing every facet of the football club. New stadium, new training facilities, new scouting, new style of football, new formations, new profile of players needed, new hierarchy, new infrastructure. And slowly but surely, Ineos and Co are looking to buy more and more of the club. So new part owners will maybe one day become new complete owners. There was always going to be casualties. players who didn't fit the mold, didn't have the right attitude. I'm not saying Garnacho doesn't have the right attitude. I'm just giving you examples here. Not the right ability, not the right attitude, don't have the technical ability. A big problem we have is a physical presence. Man United also need to raise money. After 11 years of malpractice since Sir Alex Ferguson left, after over 17 years of financial Armageddon being played at the football club with the debts and the interest payments and the dividends, United is sailing close to the PSR wind. So we have to sell assets that are valuable to raise the money to buy Amorim, players that have the quality to take us forward. Now, when I say I keep my powder dry, is there a risk that this backfires and the new signings aren't good enough and we don't get better? Yes. I won't sit there and lie and say it's all going to be perfect as a guarantee. But I'm not going to panic at this stage. I'm not going to overreact at this point. And the biggest reason is none of us know what we don't know. And for all the Man United fans, we're dead, we're finished, we're going to go backwards, etc., etc. I know that you might end up looking like geniuses. You might look like Mystic Meg if you get it correct. But you could also look like a septic peg if it goes the opposite way. And I'm just not willing to die on that hill. I'm not willing to die on that hill right now. So I'm not panicking. I'm not fuming. I'm relaxed. I'm really, really relaxed, if I'm being honest with you. I really, really am. Osimhen is worth 350 quid, if you say so. Osimhen, would he not push the wage bill again? I feel many players are unhappy. Yeah, that's a very good point. And that may be a reason why we don't explore that as an option. It's an important one to look at. However, if you come in on say he comes in on 250 grand a week, which I think is about what he's asking for. If he comes in on 250 grand a week and he scores and he delivers and he plays well, nobody will give a damn. Nobody will care. Nobody will comment, fight, argue. They never will. Doesn't matter how much you pay for somebody. If they deliver, the price becomes irrelevant. No one cares that it cost £100 million to bring Haaland into City. 50 million buyout, 50 million for agent fees. Some big clubs don't spend that over 2 seasons on agents. No one cares he was earning 300 or 400 grand a week because the man has delivered and gone above and beyond. No one cares that he's now earning up to 800 grand a week, including bonuses when he plays well and City win, because he delivers. So from my perspective and point of view, I just don't think it's that big of a deal as long as you deliver. But if you think he's going to flop, it makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. Let's have a little look here. I'm going to go to some of your calls in a few moments because I want to get some other opinions on here. First, we're going to go to London's finest to begin with to see what he has got to say here. He was on camera. His camera's dropped off. When he comes back, we'll go. Oh, he's back here with us now. London's finest is here. What are you saying, mate? What are you here to talk about? Oh, it looks like your signal is playing you up. Try and call back. Try and call back. We have a very special guest who's about to have his saying. I've not seen his beautiful face in a long time, but Saif is here. What are you saying?
Hey, what's up, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm very well. What are you here to say about the transfer window?
Transfer window. Well, I'm pissed off with Amorim. He has not sold that shit Rashford. Has not sold that shit Garnacho. Both players are so shit. You look at Garnacho, he can't even run in a straight line.
So why are you? So what are you annoyed about?
It's rubbish.
Hang on. Stop. What's wrong with? Why are you blaming Amorim for that?
Why am I blaming Amorim? Because he needs to tear their contracts just like what Michael Arteta done. One of the greatest managers in Arsenal's history. Look what he done to Aubameyang, Lacazette. He turned the contracts. Why can't Amorim not tear the contracts for these shit players? Get rid of them. Second of all, Amorim. Again, Terry, I blame you because you've been backing Amorim for a long, long time.
Oh, no, sorry.
And you have not criticized him on systems and play. Could you please explain to me how can you play Bruno Fernandes as a DM, central midfield next to him as Gabamino? It's not working. How stupid is that prick? Why are you not calling this out? Why can't you not say he should play Agate and Casemiro as a holding midfield, push up Bruno Fernandes and as a number 10 and cover my one next to him.
So
Ahmed as a
let
full
me
wing
respond.
back.
Let me respond. So predominantly Bruno starts in the 10 role. He's dropped back into the DM role after substitutions have been made because you're limited to how many subs you can make. So
Yes.
Just stop, please. So where I agree with you that he's not a DM, he's only really played there in recent games after substitutions have been made because we don't have many other options and you're limited. You can't bring on 11 subs. So yeah.
Oh, come on, play a youth player. If we don't have anyone, don't play Bruno Fernandes. The guy just kicks the ball to space.
Collie,
It's so
we have
shit.
been. But hang on a minute, but he has been because Collie has been coming on, hasn't he?
Collie. Okay,
Collie has
if
been
he
coming
plays
on.
well, yeah, that's fine. But don't play Bruno Fernandes. Don't play Garnacho. Bring somebody from the youth. Garnacho's shit.
Garnacho's barely played, and the manager's trying to sell him. So I don't understand why you're angry.
I'm angry because he keeps playing him on substitutions. It brings on the second half, the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Who are the players that you would rather see come on in attacking positions other than Garnacho? Who would you rather see?
For me, I'd rather play Anthony as a left wing back. He does well. He's playing well. I'd rather see youth player for Manchester United from a left wing back. Yes, Anthony.
I love you.
Are you taking the piss? No, but are you really taking the piss?
Saif, I love you, bro. It's been a long time.
No, hold on. Don't cut me because because I challenge you and push in the corner, yeah, you try to cut me straight away.
I'm not cutting. I'm asking you where you are. But yes, I mean, I don't agree. I don't think bringing Anthony can't be brought on anyway because he's now not at the club. He's not here anymore. So it's not an option. He's not here.
All right. Then bring somebody from the youth team. I'm sick and
tired. Who are the youth players you want to see play? Can you tell us who they are?
I don't know the youth players. I just know the first team.
Okay. So you're here arguing
yes
that the manager should bring in youth players, but you don't know who they are or how good they even are. How can that be your argument?
Are they any better than Bruno Fernandes playing him as a left wing back?
But Bruno Fernandes hasn't played as a left wing back. And if you don't know how good the academy players are, how can you advocate for them playing?
Well, they're better than Bruno Fernandes, that's a fact. I mean, tell me the last time Bruno Fernandes has played well.
Away against Liverpool.
Just one game in 1,000 games, sweetheart.
Oh, but you asked me for one example. I gave it to you. You can't move the goalpost.
Just one game. Safe. He's the first team player. He should be playing like Paul Scholes every single game. Excellent player.
I don't disagree that I want more from him, but you said name me one game. He was also very good away against Arsenal, so that's 2 games.
Yes, but I mean, he doesn't play like every single game that is excellent. And again, Terry, I just want to call you out. Just take it easy with Lee Gunner, please. Because Lee Gunner is my best friend here.
Hang on. When did I last mention Lee Gunner?
Well, I mean, I watched Lee Gunner's video, so I'm not going to say anything, but just be positive.
But I haven't said nothing about Lee. I don't stream. I've mentioned Lee on shows where I've mentioned like debates we've had and stuff, but I don't stream about Lee. So what do you mean me be careful? I haven't said anything about him. I haven't streamed about him. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, just take it easy with him because I mean he does call you out on the streams.
Why should I take it easy when I don't stream or talk about him? Doesn't make sense, does it?
No, you're right, but I mean, I just like Lee Gunner, to be honest. I mean, I do call him Gunbang. I like to call him names.
And that's fair, brother. And listen, that's fair. Listen, people, I always say, listen, I support the whole fan channel community. Like who you like, watch who you want. He's killing it at the moment. His channel's flying. You're allowed to like him. I'm not going to slag him off. I'm not
but I mean, the
However,
way you...
what I'm not going to do is have you say, be careful what you say about Lee Gunner when I don't talk about him, because that's fucking weird, bruv. That's weird.
Yeah, but I mean, you used to have him in the show, then you kicked him off. I mean, I used to watch your
it's a lie. Hang on, slow your mouth down, Sunshine, because he didn't get kicked off. He decided to leave. He wanted to focus on doing his own stuff. So he was never kicked off the Football Terrace in any capacity. Not at all. So don't lie. Not if I say so. If you watch, Lee has said it himself. Lee said it. I watched it. Don't lie, bruv. Why are you lying?
I'm not lying. I just enjoyed the show between you and Lee and the way you guys
argued.
It was fantastic.
It was great, and I enjoyed it, and it ran its course, and one day it could be back. I have no personal problem with Lee. I don't sit on the internet slagging off any content creator, whether I like them or whether I don't. I waste no energy on that. I will do it on Fan Channel where I review people's content. And I think Planet Faz is watching. Hope you're well, mate. And I just enjoy people's content. I laugh at it. I might make a joke, but I don't spend any of my time anymore online slagging off other football YouTubers. The biggest reason being, I think it's absolutely damaging to everyone in the Fan Channel community. And I have no energy and time for it. I would rather talk football. I'd rather have fun. And then when I finish streaming, I chill with my children. I chill with my family. And I walk my dog. Simple life. So be honest with you, bro. I like you, Saif. Even when you used to stalk me outside my work, you're a nice bloke.
I'm not a stalker.
But don't come on here legitimately and make up bullshit and lies, because it ain't gonna fly. Saif, as ever, thank you for coming in, my friend, and we'll chat to you again soon, brother. Peace. Very weird thing to say. As I say, big up to Lee and everyone else out there. Yeah, when he says be careful what I say, I don't slag him off. Fucking weird thing to say, mate. I tell you. He's a nice enough guy, Saif, to be fair. He's a nice enough guy, to be fair. London's finest is here with me now. What are you saying?
That was a very interesting first call.
No, listen, in fairness to Saif, he used to come on and say he wanted Donald Trump to buy the club. He used to send me weird like pictures of naked female bodybuilders and stuff. And he also turned up outside my old place of work like 4 or 5 times, waiting outside the door for me. He's a bit of a strange guy, but he's harmless enough, to be fair.
No, I know. Definitely. Nice to see you again, Terry.
You too.
I've missed
what are you here to say, bro? What are you here to say?
I've missed the first part of the show about the medical book. I believe is that for Sesko?
No, the medical book we spoke about it is for Omar Mamouche.
Oh, Omar Mamouche. Yeah, no, that's a great signing. I'm an Arsenal fan, so if there's news about Arsenal, I always come here to talk about, or even rumors about Arsenal. I come to talk about Arsenal. I can talk about other clubs as well. But no, in retrospect, I don't see Benjamin Sesko as a solution or as a long-term solution to any of the Arsenal problems that we as fans are talking about right now. So when you hear Arsenal fans talk about what we need right now, we need a striker, we need a prolific striker, we need somebody who can put the ball at the back of the net. That's what we're missing. So I've seen Sesko a few times in Bundesliga, but in isolated games, I've seen him against Real Madrid when Leipzig was playing them in the Champions League. Bare chances missed, open, like really, really big chances missed. I've seen them play for Slovenia against Portugal. That was an amazing game, by the way, at the Euros. Extra time, goes one-on-one. Literally nobody behind him. Like he's one-on-one against the goalkeeper. And I'm not saying, I know, like I've played football. I know one-on-ones are not as easy as people say. But the few times I've seen him, the only conclusion I can come to, the overall conclusion I can come to, he's not that deadly striker that we need. So if you're talking to me about waiting for the summer and buying Gyökeres or buying Sesko now, I say wait for the summer. And I know Gunners are desperate. I know the fan base is desperate. Just get me a body. Just get me somebody, you know. That's not how football works. That's what I admire about Liverpool to a certain extent. They would rather wait a year and sign the player that they want to sign instead of panic buying right now. And I'm not saying Sesko is a panic buy. I know he's been in our project for a long time. He is not the solution. He's somebody who's going to frustrate the hell out of this fan base. I can tell you right now. And if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. I don't think Sesko is the solution. Go and break the bank for Gyökeres in the summer. Go and get me Osimhen. I know Isak is probably undoable. 150 million is crazy. And they'll probably give him a new contract where he won't even be tempted to move in the long run. So, but get me Osimhen. Get me somebody like John Duran is a very good player. I'd have him right now. I can't believe West Ham are bidding for him and we're sitting there silent. That's crazy to me. West Ham, you know. West Ham, who are in a bottom 10, I believe, at the moment.
I do have a question for you that's also coming from our audience. Where are you right now?
I'm in Russia, actually. What does this look like? Yeah, it's
so
not very nice, is
it? People are saying it looks like you're in prison.
No, I'm not in prison. I'm not in jail. They wouldn't give me a phone.
No, I know. I understand that. I knew it wasn't a prison. Jesus Christ. It's just there. People are asking where you're at, but is that like an apartment block or something?
No, where I'm at. No. I'm at work. So in order to talk, in order to call up.
Okay.
With my position, I can sometimes sneak out for my breaks and join your show. There's a little corridor here, with a couple of blocks away, where I can talk in peace and quiet. So that's where I am.
No, I hear that. I hear that. It's just the viewers. It's the viewers trolling.
Yeah.
And there was a comment that got posted here by Carl about Arsenal that says, given Arsenal's ongoing interest in the likes of Sesko or Isak as potential summer signings, the club may pursue a loan deal for a forward in January. Do you think that might be the best option, as you say? If you're going to get a body, is it better for that body to just be on loan? Therefore, there's no ongoing commitment.
I've been advocating for that since the beginning of the transfer window. I do not want desperate signings right now. I want a loan signing. I think at the back of my mind, and I've had this for a while, I'm not sure if it's true, but I think that's what's going on. I think Arsenal have Rashford as their plan Z, not even plan B, but like the last option. If everything goes left, if Sesko doesn't come on loan, if Vlahović is not available on loan, if Osimhen, I don't think Osimhen, he is on loan, but you can't loan him from a loan. So I think Arsenal are thinking, let's get Rashford in to bring in a body, and we can probably squeeze something out of him until the rest of the season, if nothing else works, basically. So either that, or I wouldn't like a Jonathan David or anything like that, but I think Rashford is something that Arsenal are looking at to bring in case everything else fails, basically. I think Vlahović, I think despite signing Kolo Muani, I think Juventus are not loaning out Vlahović. They're only a permanent signing. Sesko, clearly, from what I'm hearing, is not coming on loan. So when you're asking for 70 million for a player, they're not going to be coming on loan to you. So we've made a mistake already in the summer by giving this manager 50 million to spend on Merino and Calafiori. That was the biggest mistake. There is no striker in the world that would solve the problem for Arsenal for that kind of money. I don't think so. I think the strikers we're looking at right now, they're at least 70 to 80 million. That's the best deal you're going to get. So that was the mistake in the summer. We're suffering from the consequences of that right now. Let's not make another mistake next summer. Irregardless of who the manager is, I think Arteta is here for next season. I think we've all seen that with the Zubimendi.
Yeah, I think that's I agree. I think that the Zubimendi news, although I know it's frustrated some Arsenal fans because it feels like a bit of PR right now to appease people, but the fact that it reads like Arteta is so influential in him coming in, I just can't imagine them sacking him after he does that. So yeah, it looks like he's here. However, look, I mean, you keep him for another. It depends on who you sign. Let's say you do get the striker that all you Gooners desire. Let's just don't even name him because it will create another debate that you don't need. If you get that striker and you have Zubimendi, if you had them both this season, you probably would have won the league. So therefore, I do understand that the rationale, well, we'll keep him because we'll make the squad better. Having said that, City could be back to their absolute best next year. So it's could be opportunity missed.
We're always late, and I keep telling Arsenal fans, last transfer window was the board's fault. The transfer window before that, where Arteta got 200 million, that's his fault. He spent half of that on a DM. I don't have anything against Declan Rice. I like Declan Rice. But if you have 200 million to spend, who's going to win you games? Who's going to win you the league? People used to say, there's a saying going around, defenses win you leagues. No, that's not the case anymore. Attacks win you leagues these days. So he should have gone and brought a striker back then, not Havertz, a proper striker, and then done something like a 30, 40 million for a DM, like what Liverpool did with Gravenberch, I believe, right? So yeah, that money could have been spent better, and we're still suffering from that.
I hear that. Listen, London's finest, I appreciate you calling in, mate. Let's get back to work before you end up in the gulag. So I'll chat to you again soon, mate.
Yeah, it's lunchtime in prison, so I'm gonna
go. Top man, see you later, mate. Take care. Listen, he had his opinions. You may agree with them, you may disagree with them. Let us know in the comments section below, please, people. We're going to be live again at 3:30 today with LB and Dan Potts as we preview the Champions League games. We get the boys' opinions on their club's performances over the weekend, the transfer window, and much, much more. To recap our news from today, as we spoke about at the beginning, a medical booked today for Omar Mamouche to undergo his Manchester City medical. A big bid from Nottingham Forest, or maybe not big enough, really, from Brentford's perspective. For Johan Wissa, could he be on his way to Nottingham Forest that are pushing for Champions League football? A big update regarding Benjamin Sesko. A significant fee would be needed to take him this January. Man United with many, many ingoings and outgoings happening right now, but the left back stroke right winger, Osimhen Dorgu, looks like a genuine deal that could go through any time soon. And Chelsea pushing hard to sign Alejandro Garnacho from Manchester United, according to a number of sources. As ever, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Hit the like button before you leave. Sub if you haven't. This video is going to redirect you to Straight Facts. So go and like it now and bookmark it. We're starting at 3:30 today. Shout out to Stocks FC. Go and check out the website now. Claim your 5-3 stocks as well. And let me know who you get in those stocks. So come back to the comment section and let me know who you got in your free stocks. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.